following is a call I recorded between my business partner, Stephane Page, and myself, and we were talking about manifesting success and how it happened for both of us, especially for him. I'm kind of following his footsteps, if you will. He started out in network marketing back when he was 18 years old, and I don't know how he got the loan, but he got a loan for I think it was $100,000, and he put together a credit card MLM and took off like crazy, and he was doing really well and living well, making a lot of money, and it was really, really easy. And he he kept saying it's too easy, and his wife Claudia was telling him, don't say that. And I said, well, anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut over to the conversation here between Stephane and I. We've been working together for quite some time now, and this is about manifesting success and mindset, and it's really good. Stephane's awesome. Here we go.
Not going exactly the way I wanted, so I thought I could see myself hiring or actually being friend with one of the legend in the industry, and it was Randy Gage at the time. And I had read a book, and anyway, so next thing you know is I hired him. I'm in Florida, driving around in his Viper together with him for I did that I think 3 times, and we played softball together. I mean, this whole thing, everything was happening, and I kept complaining at night to Claudia, this is too easy. This is not my story. And she was telling me, why do you say that? Because I was reading the books from, the stories of Walt Disney and Henry Ford and all these great people who had been through struggles, right? And you kind of begin to love these stories where they've been through tough times and they finally break through and their life completely changes and it inspires people. And I said, my story will never inspire anyone because I haven't struggled. Everything I want, I get. And so she kept telling me, you should just be grateful. You should just be grateful for what you have. That's it. Just appreciate it. Take it. But I just kept repeating that. This is too easy. This is too easy. This is not my story. And one thing I heard, my father invites me in the conference room and says, I got to tell you something. And he lost his business, and he had shares in my company. So basically they seized the bank account in my company as well. And basically we lost everything overnight. Everything was gone. And then for the next 15 years, I struggled financially. It was tough. I mean, I couldn't, I didn't know how I would put food on the table. I was counting how many sheets on the toilet paper that we could buy, one roll versus the other brand. And I mean, crazy stuff, And in the summer, I remember walking on the street, and my wife would say, hey, the kids want ice cream. And I would think, oh, man, this is going to cost me $10 of ice cream. And so this week we have this thing. And so if I save here, then, okay, I can afford the $10, but I hope they don't ask for ice cream tomorrow, right? And so, I mean, this is ridiculous, when you think about this. But what happened is I manifested the struggles. I wanted the struggles.
Yes.
And so that's why when you were telling me that the 30 years ago and all that, I thought, oh my gosh, what happened? And one day I remember Tim, that was, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 years ago, Tim asked me, he said, Stephane, when did you accept that network marketing was hard? He says, think about this. There's a time, there's a point in your life where you accepted it would be hard, it would be long, it would be tough. So when was it? And I kept thinking, I don't know. When did I accept? I don't know. I never accepted that it was tough. I never accepted it would be long. And I just couldn't put the finger on it, right? But that happened, I think it was in 2014, something like that, or the year before or after, whatever. But, it was my birthday and come back from the spa with Claudia, and we're just, chilling. And I asked her, what happened to me? Everything I wanted, I was getting. And then for the last so many years, been tough. And she said, oh, I know. What do you mean, you know? And then she told me that story of, this is not the life I wanted. This is not my story. And I kept complaining, and that the light bulb went on. And I said, oh, my goodness, that's it. That's the point. I accepted or wanted to have to go through all of this. So turning it back to you, it's, you know, is it that moment where you lost IBM through Excel that you accepted or decided that it had to be long, and every time you're about to make a deal, or every time something is about to come through, then something happened and it doesn't work? Like, is it that, or is it something else? But it could be that. It could be that moment where you said, wow, you know, every time I try to get something done, something happens. Boom, it doesn't work for me. And it's just something that has been inside of you for all these years, and you just kept at it. And this is just remanifesting over and over again. Every time you're about to have a breakthrough, something happens and it takes it away from you. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's why, you know, it may be that. It may just be that where one time you almost had it all, and then it went away. Yeah. Is it that, or is it something else? But if that's the thing, I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah.
It would totally make sense.
Exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, and for me, it's just that I just kept fighting against it. I didn't know. It's just when things, you know, started to happen, they were starting to happen a little bit, and I just said, that's it, man. This is my ticket. I'm making it. This time, forget this. No matter what, this is my story. I'm now coming back, right? And so I knew I had paid the price, and I'm done with it. Now it's the other part of the story, and that's what made it. But when you're conscious of it, then that's what you can, you know, do your affirmations or, you know, put your thoughts on, is that's it, right? You get sometimes hit really bad, but eventually your luck turns. Your luck turns. And you can have a couple, like 1, 2, 3, yeah, but then one day it just happens. And so if you can, you know, switch your mind and say, okay, I got enough of those. Now the law of averages is going to play in my favor because I got so many bad ones. Now I'm going to have a good one.
Yeah, I got, you know what, that story about with Excel, they paid the most on commercial accounts, right? It was 10% on commercial. So that when I went to 5 links, I became like the super stud of commercial accounts, and I had 140 commercial accounts, most anybody in the company. And then they came out with their own VoIP, and Packet 8, where all my accounts were, I no longer got paid on. Oh. And I did that blitz because, you know, I had that in my mind that everybody quits, and I'm not going to have to depend on anyone if I just do the work and get it done, which I did.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then they switched the companies, you know. So
look at that.
Yeah, and then Dree, same thing. They changed the comp plan, right? Mm. I had 7,300 reps, and I had my check dropped the most of anyone in the company. That was my big record there. I lost 90% on my check.
Wow.
So there it is again. There's that bad thing.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but now that you know it, you can start to see the opposite and say, okay, how do I change that in my mind?
Yep.
Because you know, you got the elephant is in the room.
I must confess, I am smiling a lot lately. You know, I'm not buying into that old story.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, good.
We're changing our story as we speak.
Yes, sir. Man, let's put our thoughts in the same direction.
I mean, the fact that this house is still here, that's a complete miracle. Oof. Doesn't make any sense because the fires were just blocks from here, 100 feet high, you know, and it burned everything else all the way up from Napa to the ridge, and it stopped.
Incredible.
The wind died. It went from 70 miles an hour to a zip. Oof. Which is like, now how does that work? It's call them angels.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Huh. That's amazing.
Yeah. I'll send you my little cover letter I'm sending to charities and stuff.
Okay.
I think you'll like it. All right, brother.
Right.
I will let you.
Okay.
And good chatting.
Same here. All right.
Bye for now.
Bye. Bye-bye.